Horns up.
Stand and deliver. Pay attention.
News from across the NFL and the Minnesota Vikings in association with VikeFans.com. With your hosts.
Like I picked the wrong week to quit drinking.
The Rockstar Al Hiram.
Did you eat a lot of paint chips when you were a kid? Why?
And Jason the Beast Barrow.
They think he's a righteous dude.
That was awesome. Oh, boy, is this great!
And welcome to your holiday, mid-holiday sort of in-betweener episode of Horns Up. Last week of the NFL regular season coming up. The second to the last just behind us. Hey, that makes sense, right? Yeah, mathematically. Big news, Vikings have clinched a playoff berth for the first time since 2012. It's a happy, happy time for all of us, especially coming off last week's win. And we just had Christmas. It's like Christmas twice. How'd your Christmas go there, Beast?
I couldn't complain. Went on a little vacation.
Yeah.
Took the fam over to the old Wisconsin Dells. Got away, did something different we've been doing the last few years. It's kind of nice.
Oh, there you go.
Otherwise, man, it was great. How about yours?
Dells at Christmas in the Dells. Never would have thought of that. I think a water park, so.
That's what we did.
Did they turn them into sled runs or something? What do they do with the water park?
They got 3-4 different resorts.
Oh, yeah, the indoor ones, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, those big, huge, mega indoor water park hotels with some Indian mascot. Yeah. Yep.
Pretty much.
Those are great. Oh, that's cool, though, man. We stayed around the house. Because I had to work Christmas Eve and Christmas Day this year. And so we just hung out. We opened some gifts. We enjoyed some fantastic food. You know, my mi amigo Taco, he slow cooked a couple of rabbits with carrots and onions and potatoes and stuff. That was awesome. You know, it was a pretty chill, pretty relaxing holiday. I liked it. So I wasn't displeased at all. The big one's coming up, though. The one where we do get a little bit crazy. What do you got planned for New Year's?
Just pretty much do what I always do on Friday nights. Go up to buddy's house, got like a little bar built in the garage.
Oh, there you go. That's awesome.
The bad thing about it, the guy's a Packer fan. But his wife, she's got it right. She's a Viking fan, so
that's all right.
He finally gave up half of the garage where his shit, the Green Bay Packers, he's got up there. And then she's got the other side where we just keep buying more stuff and bringing it up and cluttering it up. So it's like overpowered now by Viking stuff.
That's awesome. It's like a turf war on the wall. There you go.
Yep.
And he can't take it down because of the wife, right? Yep.
Oh, his boys are Viking fans.
Oh yeah, that's a clever stratagem. That's turn the family against him.
Yep.
God. Oh, that's cool, man. That's awesome. I mean, there's nothing like spending some time with some peeps you love and you respect. And hey, you know what? I hope everybody out there in the Vike fans world has had that awesome holiday with the people they love and have another and safe one coming up here, because, you know, it gets kind of rowdy, especially when there's a lot of game riding on Sunday night. But we'll get to that. Meantime, though, I think, you know what? Yeah, you know what? Well, of course. Before we get to that, let's break down last week's game. So playoff implications have been abounding about the NFL. In fact, this week we have 11 games this weekend here that have playoff implications, including our own. But last week was also another important week. We saw teams clinch, like the Skins clinched and eliminated the Giants. We saw the Vikes lay an ass whooping on the Giants themselves, which was kind of awesome, which we'll talk about. And but first, before I get to that, we also saw Green Bay take one on the chin, and then a couple more on the chin from Arizona. Is Arizona peaking at the right time, or are we seeing something? Am I missing something here? What's your take on that?
On Arizona itself?
On Arizona and Green Bay, and what that means as far as future considerations going into the playoffs.
I don't know. I think they were kind of the next man standing up, knowing that they lost Honey Badger in their secondary. He's out again.
Right.
Another ACL.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the Cardinals, they believe. And they know that they're a damn good team. They're coached well. And now is the time, you know. You got the further along a lot of players go in the league, they realize how awesome it is and how fast it goes by. So, you know, you see Carson Palmer, his road that he went through.
Right, yeah.
And now where he's back, you know. And then last year, you know, he had that ACL go out again. That had been just devastating.
Oh, yeah.
So really for, like, him, like Larry Fitz, you know, players like that, they know this opportunity doesn't come around very often, and they're very motivated right now. I mean, we played a hell of a game, though, against them. You just seen a team just find its pure weakness and just keep attacking it, and they couldn't stop it. And
Right.
they beat a lot of their guys down, thank you. So they're a little banged up already.
Yep. So now, how do you think that relates now on the Green Bay side with the week coming up against us and how Green Bay performed last week? Do you think, well, like for instance, the injuries, they had a ton of injuries. Beluga got injured. You know, I can't remember the other guys. Some other guys got injured that I really wasn't paying attention to names because I was busy. But what do you
got the injury report?
Oh, do you?
The whole Packers.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so
you came prepared, son.
Akatari did not participate. That is their normal left tackle. They were down to their second string left tackle, and that's where good old Dwight Freeney. I didn't even really realize it watching the game, but that guy got 3 sacks in the game. He did. That's another guy right there that I just said. You would have thought Dwight Freeney was done.
You would have.
He's been out pretty much injured a couple of years ago, and all of a sudden he's healthy right at the right time. So, you know, it's just...
Yeah, I mean, the Packers had a rash of injuries. That didn't help them at all. But do you think their confidence is shaken, or do you think... I think they shrug it off because the border battle is always like, you know, mini bowl 1 and 2, the Norris Bowl, whatever you want to call it. I mean, I see it twice a year, maybe 3 times in a playoff, but I don't think it affects them. I don't think they're shaken. I think they come in full strength, so we got to be ready for that. That's just me, but they did take a whooping, and we dealt out a little bit. How about that? We had defensive scores, we had offensive scores, we had passing scores, we had running scores. We had as complete a game as I've ever seen from this team. So what's your take on the Vikes Cards? What do you think? What do you see when you look at that game? I mean, it was a 32-point win. That's a beatdown.
It's a team going in completely opposite directions. You know, you get the Giants headed down. They know they're out of the playoffs. They lost pretty much their best player, especially on offense. Most dynamic player, really. And, you know, Tom Coughlin, Jesus. Tom Coughlin. All right, Tom Coughlin, he's maybe got that one last year because I think he just doesn't want to go out on he'll go out on a playoff making team. So I think he'll try and stick it out one more year. Not only that, but the Giants, you know, Eli's 35, 36.
Right.
What's his window? So you might as well just roll with him one more year. I think the team's just ready to get going on next year already. And the Vikings
to rebuild, yeah.
You know, they're on the way up. They're just beginning to get in that window again. You know, that we had an 08, 09, and we thought still 2010, but shit goes sour real quick in the NFL. Well,
we're building a system here, too. That's important to recognize because, you know, we can't have 2 years and out like we have been over the last couple of decades. You got to build a system like, the old Bud Grant thing. You had years and years and years where you were always tough. You can't go the 2 and out anymore. Not unless you're, I don't know, whose last team did that? The Rams? They did that thing, I think. The 2-0, they had the greatest show on turf, and then
Exactly.
gone. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. No, exactly. Just like that team, just like even the 98 Vikings. That's
Right.
even worse, you know?
Yeah, the 98, you had 97, 98, and part of 99, and then gone. Just, Yep. You had the 98 team, then 41 donut team. When that the 99 team, the 41 donut,
Yeah.
against the Giants, which was a measure of sweet revenge right there. So we had Adrian Peterson rushing for over 100 yards, retaking the rushing title. We had Teddy doing a 2-touchdown game, even though he only threw 160 yards, but that's because the defense gave him so many short fields. The average drive length, from what I understand, was like less than 60 yards for the Vikings, because they were always on the opposite side, the opponent's side of the field, it seemed. You had those couple of sweet picks. You had the 1 pick six. We had 3 interceptions during the game. We had, I think it was, the total 4 sacks? 4, if I'm not mistaken, on Eli Manning.
I believe it's 4. Tom Johnson, believe it or not, he got 2. Daniil Hunter had 1.
Right. And I think B-Rob snuck one. Yep, B-Rob. He reeled one in on him, too. Yep. So there we go. A great defensive stand. Really freaking phenomenal defensive stand, and a really solid offensive stand. Teddy didn't have to do much, but what he did do, that throw to Rudolph, oh, that was a thing of beauty. That was something we've been waiting to see. Hitting somebody right in stride, bam, threading that needle. Oh, it was cute. It was good.
You know, another thing I've been waiting to see is, even since like 08, 07, actually it's been before that, you just know the Vikings, when they got a time to clinch in there, you know, like a home game even, you know, everything's looking good. That's when they would choke a game out, you know, and it's like, come on.
Right. Yep.
You know, this time around, everything's so different. You know, coaching staff, top to bottom wise, player personnel, everything is just like, yeah, we got this.
Well, somebody made a list on VikeFans.com, and they made a list of all the things that we were never able to do, that we are suddenly, all the curses, quote unquote, that we've been breaking this year, like not winning at Soldier Field, not winning more than X number of road games, not winning X number of conference games. It was just this ridiculous list of all the things that have always snake bit this team, and this new culture that we're building here under the Z regime has been really changing all of that. It's been a really remarkable thing to see. And we've only got 1 Pro Bowler, and it's not Harrison Smith. What the fuck, you know? Right? I mean, that's a snub, if you ask me. Harrison Smith's one of the best in the game. But
I actually like that, because that even puts another chip on their shoulders, you know? And just like what I've been saying a lot here this week, the Vikings have a chance to redeem a lot of the losses this year.
They do.
I call it the redemption road.
It is, and that's the last thing I think offenses want to see, is Harrison Smith playing with even more anger, more of a chip on his shoulder, because he's kind of badass enough.
Well, the reason I say that is because we played Green Bay this week. Obviously, we know what happened.
Oh, yeah.
The TCF. So that if we beat Green Bay with NFC North champions, we will play Seattle no matter what.
Right.
Redemption.
Yep.
Our worst loss pretty much of the season.
Right.
Why not? You know, some people are, no, it won't actually be bad to lose that game, because then you play Washington.
No.
FedEx Field sucks. That's where Adrian Peterson tore his knee.
Right.
RG3 tore his knee. Any given Sunday. And you know the way I feel about it is, if this team is actually going to make a run, let's play the best. Let's not try and slip our way through there.
Why not?
Because I don't want to be teased. I don't want to get in the NFC Championship game if we really aren't the 4th best team in the league.
Right. Yep. I agree. It doesn't matter who's up. You gotta take them down. I actually think Washington's a more dangerous team than Seattle right now. I do. Yeah. I've been watching, paying attention to Washington.
I bet you they win whoever they play that first week. I just have a hunch about it. Oh, shit, look at Washington. Everyone
right.
Like I was saying about our team, they got a chip on their shoulders because, like us, you know, a lot of players got snubbed from the Pro Bowl. It's the same kind of thing. No one gave them hope, and every year you see a couple teams step up like that.
Right. And then you're going to see Cousins in the background go, how you like that? Yeah.
You like that? Oh!
You like that?
That might sound like Karate Kid. You like that? Huh?
Okay.
But then, I was talking about the road to redemption.
Right.
Then, if we would happen to beat Seattle, we would play Arizona for the, going into the NFC Championship game. Then
Arizona,
another team we lost to.
Right, Arizona or Carolina, but I think Arizona would be the ones to go through. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And that means it's time for... Looking forward to Week 17, the Border Battle Part 2. Oh, yeah, it's going to be a great one. Joining us, we have some special guests. We have Robbie and his wife, Rhiannon the Rhino. I'm still giggling. I can't help it. That's such a great nickname. Rhiannon the Rhino. How you guys doing tonight?
We're doing great. How are you?
Oh, fantastical. The best thing ever happened to me today. I got home and I was able to...
I can't even get a word in. I tried to say something. She cut me off.
Oh, best thing ever happened to me tonight. I got home and I grabbed a beer and took some Gas X. That's been the best thing that's happened all day. It's been awesome. So anyway, Border Battle Part 2. So I understand that we have a small civil war going on in your domicile between you, Mr. Robbie, the Packer fan, and the Queen Rhino, Brianna here. So
The Queen, I like that.
Well, we're Vikings. We have queens. That's how it works, right?
Yes, we're a house divided, that's for sure.
Okay, so how does that work out? Are we going to have to go into some counseling here? What are we going to have to do?
It doesn't work. No, I've turned all of our kids into Vikings fans, so he's the only Packer fan here.
Oh, wow.
It's horrible. It's horrible. It's wonderful. We talk a lot of shit to them when the Packers are playing, no matter who they're playing.
What side of the river do you guys live on?
We live on the Minnesota side.
All right. Now, is your doghouse on the Wisconsin side? Is that where you retreat to? You floated across a bit there or something by Nelson?
I do tuck my tail and I just run out to my garage.
Okay, gotcha. So your garage is all Packer themed then?
No, it's half and half. Well, no, it's not half. It's 2/3 and a third. Well, Aaron's wife would quit bringing the Packer shit over. It'd be more Viking stuff.
We can work on that. Don't worry, we probably gonna have some NFC North Division champion posters be putting up in there in a week.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, well, we'll see about that one.
No, you'll see, buddy.
All right. So,
yeah, the Vikings got this.
All right, so
I'm more worried about. Sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I interrupted. My bad. I'm sorry. I shouldn't interrupt arguments.
No, I'm just more thinking about the little side bet that me and Mr. Barham have going here. I'm looking forward to my 12-pack of beer and nice little bottle of Fireball.
Oh, well, there you go. Fireball. All right. That's a classy drink, I guess.
I wouldn't call it classy, man. It's more of a fun drink.
Yeah, I get you. All right, so we got Sunday. We got Border Battle Part 2. You're the house divided on the edge, on the borderlands of our respective kingdoms here, right? Okay, so I want you to tell me. I'm going to start now. Miss Brianna here, Mrs. Brianna. I'm sorry. We're gonna start with the visiting team. Just being nice, because we're visiting them, and we hope they extend that same charity and tell the refs to lay the fuck off. Mr. Robbie.
Agree.
There you go. Mr. Robbie, what's your take on this Sunday's upcoming game? What's your overall perception? What are we going to dive into here?
You know what? I'm nervous every time we play the Vikings. It doesn't matter how we're doing. It doesn't matter how you guys are doing. To me, it's the Super Bowl.
Right.
That is the game I look forward to. That is the game that can go anyway.
I like that. It's the NFC Norris Bowl twice a year. We love it. Love it. There's no other rivalry like that in sports. There seriously is not. People claim it, but nah. Nothing like a couple of clans throwing down with like furs and axes and shit, you know. I don't know. Do Packers wear furs and have axes and helmets and raiding ships, or do they just, throw meat in trucks?
I'll just throw a bunch of cheese at you.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a good distraction anyway. That's a good distraction. So what do you think the keys are, since you're a Packer fan? What do you think the keys to victory for the Packers are going to be this Sunday?
Well, I'm going to think we're going to do some good running. I think we're going to have to...
Really?
He's going to have to get out there. Lacey's... He's been slow. He's been fast. He's had some good weeks. He's had some down weeks.
Is there...
I think Lacey... What's that?
No, go ahead.
I think Lacey's just going to have to step it up here. I think McCarthy's back into play calling, which I'm believing, minus last week, I'm believing is a good thing. And I think all in all, I think the defense that we're looking up against, I mean, it's the defense that nobody is really given the credit that they deserve. They're a tough defense.
That's very sweet. Thank you. That's very sweet. So, do you think A-Rod is having? Is it more of a mental game with him right now, or is he actually, you think, having some sort of issues?
I'm going to say it's all mental right now. He's missing a few guys. He's not really knowing what to do. The Cobb is not doing good. He's not really understanding. He's understanding, but he is. What's the best way I can put it? He sucks. No, it's not that he sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not.
You can feel the Cobb. You should feel it.
He's not feeling.
He's lost a lot of confidence all of a sudden this year.
He's not feeling the Cobb. Did you just
Then with Devontae Adams, though, he's definitely lost a lot of confidence on that team right now. Been dropping balls consistently every week to week. I mean, that's one reason why Rodgers, he's like a frustrated. He's getting hit.
He's a discount Mike Wallace right now. He can't catch anything.
Pretty much.
I think, unfortunately, with Nelson being out, you have so many guys that are trying to step up into his position that they're almost trying to overdo it. They're trying to be the big guy, and they're just butterfingering right now.
Right. Okay. So you think what they have to do is just run next on Sunday?
I'm hoping it works. Our run game has not been good. It's been bad. And I'm hoping that they can pull some kind of horseshoe out here. The pass game has been even worse.
Have you considered maybe sloping the field at Lambeau so that you can start Lacey on an incline and just sort of roll them like a war elephant in the ancient world at the opposing line?
With how big all of our heads are, we think we should be able to weigh it, kind of slope the field a little bit.
Just grade it down towards the end zone so when he gets a good head of steam going, and even if he trips, he just sort of rolls through things. Yeah, that could work,
But then he's technically down, though. He's technically down.
Well, no. I mean, if he just gets rumbling, if he can keep his feet under him, maybe give him a unicycle, too.
He ain't going to keep his feet under him.
Oh, that's right.
A little bit of helium.
Helium. Put helium in the inflator pads on his helmet. Try and keep him upright. That'd be great. Oh, that would be so awesome. Oh, yeah. Lacey's been the pinnacle. Actually, he's been the best in the league. I don't know if you're aware of this stat or not, but I looked it up. He has been the best in the league this year at inconsistency for a starting running back. So you've got that going for you. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yep. So, but yeah, I agree that if they can get the running game going, and that's kind of, if there's a weakness on this defense, it's been the running game. We're not ranked as high running as we are against the pass game and overall scoring. So that could lead to some horrible things. Now, switching over to Mrs. Miss Brianna here, the Rhino Queen, Mrs. Brianna.
This is Rhiannon.
Rhiannon. Well, I have a really horrible time with names. You just asked Beast how many names I screw up every day, so it's pretty amazing. What do you think?
What was it? That Jemimas Winston?
Jemias. Yeah.
That's what it was.
I remember that one from a few weeks back.
Right, yeah. It's pretty much it's turning into like Aunt Jemima Winston and all kinds of shit there. Yeah. It's been a pretty awful trip for my name skills. So, yeah. So now we're going to ask you the same questions. Your overall picture of next Sunday's game, what do you see is going to happen and what do we dive into?
Well, I'm really hoping the same Packer team that showed up this last weekend shows up this week because they played horrible.
All right.
And I'm hoping the refs aren't on their side like they usually are.
Okay.
But I am thinking the Packers got this. They got this.
Okay. All right. So you're pretty confident going into this one.
I am, and I think a win at Lambeau Field would be amazing.
Well, of course.
And it would really up the game.
Right, I'm sure you feel is like a win at Lambeau is almost the same as when the Packers win at TCF, except it's TCF and it's kind of.
I would like to point out the fact that every time she is confident, she is wearing a Packers jersey the next day.
Yeah, see, we always make a bet when the Vikings and Packers play, and I feel like I wear a Packer jersey a lot, and he has stained it with chili, and so I look horrible, even worse than normal. So, he needs a new Packer jersey or something, or the Vikings just have to start winning so that he has to wear my jersey once in a while.
Right.
I'll take B.
There you go. Yeah, option B for me too. We're horns up. We're not, meat slab up. So I mean, we're kind of slanted ourselves.
We're not cheese bums.
Right. So, Miss Rhino, we're just going to stick with that because I can pronounce that. Is that okay? All right,
yep.
Cool. Miss Rhino?
No, that's fine. Nobody can pronounce my name.
That's all right. All right. Now, is it actually Rhiannon, like the Fleetwood Mac song? Is that what you're saying?
Yep, that's what I was named after.
Oh, you see, I've been putting a Brie on it because I thought you said Brianna. And okay. No, Fleetwood Mac is awesome.
It's all Fleetwood Mac.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll still call you Miss Rhino. And I can see why Rhiannon. Right. Now I make the connection. Rhiannon and Rhino. I'm not a complete idiot. I'm not a complete idiot.
Rhino.
Right. All right. So, Miss Rhino, your keys to Viking victory.
I think it's going to be a lot of running. I think Peterson and Bridgewater have had some good plays, and I think it's going to be a lot of Adrian Peterson and Asiata. So I'll have to stick with those two players. They're kind of his best players.
Not the Jerick McKinnon flash 68-yarders now, or are you going to stick to Peterson and Asiata?
I don't think you really want to be throwing too much because the defense, I don't know, they might be intercepting some. So
okay, who do you think on their defense is really the ball hawk to watch for interceptions?
I just think you need to really stick away from Matthews. He really fucking likes to sack some people. So.
Well, yeah. Clay Matthews really he's a sack machine 3 seconds after the whistle. We all see that all the time. I mean,
Yeah. So they really just need to tighten up their defense. Keep Bridgewater in the in the pocket and making sure that nobody's getting in there after them.
Okay. So we're seeing what the border battle between you two is running back versus running back. So we got Lacey versus Peterson. Yeah. We see running game versus running game, and then everybody got to tighten up on defense, quote unquote. And we understand that. All right. So that being said, Beast. Now it's up to you to be the tiebreaker in this domestic dispute here. First of all, what do you see in this upcoming Viking and Packer game, and what are we going to dive into here from your big overview?
Well, the Packers are going to go into this game with a sense of urgency. They're going to start out quick. They're going to go, I would say, 4 wide receiver sets are going to be fast-paced game. I don't see them really trying to determine the run too much. until they get like a lead.
Okay.
Run the clock.
All right.
I feel I think McCarthy's going to let Rodgers audible a lot of plays at the line, give him a lot of freedom, and just kind of feel what he feels in this game.
Okay.
That's their best shot, really, to score a bunch of points.
Okay. All right. So
let's flip it on the Minnesota side.
Right.
You know, we're a team that's obviously got to feed Adrian Peterson, got to get that run game going because our weakness is our offensive line. Actually, it's been getting better and better, but it's, in the pass protection area. So our key is keep feeding Peterson, try and get some play action plays, get up on him, and then on defense, pressure the shit out of Rodgers. Mm-hmm. Pressure him again, hit him.
Right.
I think if you sack him 4 or 5 times in a game, your odds go drastically one way or the other of winning that game. I can't pull up the stat right now, but I seen it yesterday. And if you sack him like 5 times, your odds go way up because you got him flustered, you got him off his game, and you got the routes. And I think we got the guys out there to give press coverage to run them receivers out of their routes, out of their comfort zone. When you do that, that's how we're going to win the game, really, is defense and the run game. Just like the other two already mentioned with the running game. Running game's obviously going to be key right now, especially going to playoffs. You really want to have a running game working for you.
Yeah.
You really want everything, but running game is huge going into the playoffs.
So you're departing from them as to you think the Pack's going to come out with a shotgun and try to get points up right away. Instead of trying to establish the run.
I just feel they're going to come out such a high sense of urgency. You're going to see that fast-paced offense. You know what Packer fans are going to say? This is bullshit. Where have this been all year? That's actually that's what I think their strong part of the team is. And when they send Rodgers out and they go fast, they like a 2-minute drill.
Right.
You just tell them, do a 2-minute drill. We got 10 minutes left in the first quarter. Fuck it. 2-minute drill.
Okay.
I bet you if they said that to him a bunch of times, they would have had a lot more points this year.
Well, that's because, much as I hate to admit it, Rodgers is probably a better play caller than McCarthy.
That's like Rodgers.
Yeah.
Not Rodgers, but Favre.
Aaron is a better play caller than Gerber, baby. Come on, admit it. Mike McCarthy, he looks like the Gerber baby.
You, Locke.
Well, my take.
What is your keys, bud?
My keys. First, I agree with the pressure thing. The pressure thing is crucial. The last game, if I remember correctly, we got about nothing for pressure on Rodgers. I think we got like a sack and a half. Was that it? It was just ridiculously bad. That means that Zimmer can't play conservative. He's got to call up those blitzes because the man defense has been what's taken Rodgers down all year, and we actually have the people to play a man defense against those receivers. They don't have a superstar receiver. So there might be one burn in there you have to eat, but you play man and you pressure his ass all game. Because if he's getting up, the slower he gets up, the more confused he is about what he's doing on this team. That's a good thing. Offensively, yeah, you're right. You have to find that run, but you have to have some balance. What they did last game was beautiful. The way they mixed McKinnon in with Peterson, and they had the 2-back sets, and nobody knew what was going on, because it's always been Peterson, pass, McKinnon. Peterson, McKinnon with a pass. Peterson, Asiata with a draw. It's been just entirely too predictable. Last week, they put in these Peterson and McKinnon dual backfield sets, and they'd throw to one of them out of the backfield, and nobody knew how to handle it. And all of a sudden, you got McKinnon busting 1 for 68. That's a great thing. That's actually using the tools you have to generate an offensive game plan instead of just saying, I'm going to make it my way like it was in Dallas in 1993. No, it doesn't. It doesn't work now. You got to adapt. So I think Norris finally catching up with that. But I think, we're always going to be a ground team because our pass protection sucks balls. So we're going to be a ground team. We have to pound the rock. We have to establish that right away. But we also need to use those play actions and let Teddy do this new intermediate pass thing he's been doing because he's pretty good at it. Last week he was 3 for 5 on. Or no, I'm sorry. What was the? I have to look up the stat, but it was something like 80-90% accurate from intermediate passes between 20 and 30 yards. That's pretty damn good. So let him do it. Let him do it. Do it. You got play actions are perfect for that. Rudolph has been actually coming into his own again. And then you got Wright is turning into a great possession receiver because all these teams are doubling down on Diggs. So that's
I really felt weeks ago we talked about it, about Rudolph. You know, when we had talk of about the defense, you know, coming into a real big strength of this team. When's the offense going to get there? You know, and I said, you know, Rudolph, once his team gets going, we'll know because Rudolph is really more into it. Well, it's hard because we've been using him for pass blocking, but he's actually, it's not the biggest on the stat-wise, but he's having a really good year.
Oh, he is. He's actually, for as far as tight ends go, you've got your elite crew of tight ends. It's always like 3 or 4 tight ends that are really, really good. And then you got your second. He's definitely a solid second-tier tight end. And all things considered, with the problems we've had in this offense, I'll take that. He's potentially a first tier because he's a catching tight end. He's not a blocker. He's not going to be another Jimmy Kleinsasser. You know, 1 career touchdown.
All right, so I got a question for you, too, again, bud.
Okay.
What's the big plans, man, Sunday night? What are you doing?
Oh, you see.
Where are you watching the game?
There's this little place called Brothers here in town. And like a bunch of us guys who all work together who are on opposite sides of the fence and ready to go to fisticuffs, we're going to take our Hatfield and McCoy act down there.
Oh, shit.
Yep. Good
Who's
time.
a pistol whip?
Right. Right. Well, you know, Packer.
Dog, don't go around here, dog.
There's one thing that.
That's more of a scalping than a pistol whip. I think
Right, pretty much, yeah. Deputy Donald.
So.
Right. There's one thing that rings true between Vikings and Packer fans both is that if you host both of them for a one of the Norris Bowls here at your house, you're not going to be able to afford the food bill. So going out, it's a pretty good strategy. We all like to eat.
That's got to work. You're better off going somewhere else than hosting it yourself. Unfortunately, I can't say the same.
Right, yeah. Hosting it yourself, if everybody chips in, you know, and you can afford 20, 30 pounds of meat, then go for it. But, yeah.
I'm only pitching in if I lose the game. Coors Light and Fireball.
Well, you're going to be watching it from the window. Outside the window. You're going to be sitting there in the cold.
I want to. You'll be watching from the cold.
Yep.
What are you talking about? I'm
going to be outside with them.
Then you can pretend you're at Lambeau Field, buddy. Get out there.
Yeah, there you go. We'll give you some hand warmers while you're out there.
Yeah.
I've been there once. I went to Lambeau Field on a December 27th game that was versus Seattle, probably 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And that was cold.
Yeah, I bet.
But, oh, darn it, it was fun.
Go darn it.
Go darn it. Go darn it. That's what happens when you go to a Packer game. You start talking all goofy.
Well, slap my cheese log. That was a good time. Yeah.
I see, I'm not like my wife. I don't throw out like the F-bomb and all that stuff with every other word, and then the kids come walking down, and they're like, hey, what the fuck are you doing?
And he just did. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Right, yeah. That's, yeah.
I try to limit it with gall darn it.
Oh,
right.
that's lame.
Gall darn. Yeah. And then you just break it out when you're about to say, you know, it's yeah, we understand. Everybody's a hypocrite. We understand. It's okay. It's okay. Yep.
Well, you know where I'm watching the game. I'm watching the game with them when we're all going to be shit-talking the Packer fan. Hopefully we got a reason to do so.
I think we got it. We got it.
How does this work? I got this nice Dungy's Tavern man cave built up, all the Packer stuff up here, and it's going to be 90% Viking fans in my garage.
Just because you live in Minnesota.
Yeah. Yeah, and the Vikings are going to Lambeau.
Go get a little boathouse and put it over in Wisconsin. And
there's a benefit. Yeah.
I would think the Viking fans are the ones that know about the boats, not the Packer fans.
Right.
Well, there is a metaphor there. I mean, because you got your Packer Cove, and then it's full of 90% Viking fans. It's kind of like, us taking the trip to Lambeau, right? Except on a really small level. So it's metaphorical.
Just as long as nobody pulls down their pants and tries mooning it.
Hey, the Packers started that shit.
Yeah.
I agree.
That was the Packer thing. All he was doing was giving a little payback. He didn't actually pull nothing down. You didn't see no butt.
He should have, man. He should have just pulled it down and should have slapped it. Yeah, you like that?
He just got tired of seeing chunky white Wisconsin asses outside his bus every day.
I remember watching that game with my dad, and even as a Packer fan, I sat back and laughed. I thought that was classic.
It was great.
I knew exactly what the reference was.
Right, yeah.
And you can only sit back and laugh. You can't sit and argue about that. I mean, with all the dispute that was over about that.
Right,
it was just downright.
Yeah, that was fun. It was a fun thing. He was kind of a weird, funny guy, but nobody could. But you always had a guy like Joe Buck. That's reprehensible. Oh, shut the hell up, you
douche.
Right, your tie's too tight and your head's like Mr. Mackey now. Just shut up. Oh yeah.
I don't hear Joe Buck talk. Every time he's on, it's got to be on mute.
Well, I think this one we're getting Collinsworth again. We're getting the Michaels and Collinsworth team again for this Sunday night. So you won't have to hear that, but you will. And this is a favorite sport of mine. I swear, every time every time Collinsworth talks, I wait for his teeth to fall out of his mouth.
Yeah.
I just wait for those dentures to go blah, blah, blah. And him go, I just mute me. I don't know what it is about his dentures. They don't fit his head. He's like the Joker. It's just crazy. So,
well, I guess when you got that much money, you're like, fill him up.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, give me as many dentures as you can fit in my skull.
You look good. Damn, I look good, right? G's right here.
All right. Okay, so let's get to it then. We're going to wrap it up. Final predictions. We're going to go around real quick here. So we're going to start with you, Beast. We're going to go to Miss Rhino, and then we're going to let Mr. Packer fan have the last say. Is that good? Well, he's outnumbered, so we're letting him just give his report last, and then
we're too nice to this
dude. It's Minnesota.
You're lucky I like your chili, man.
It's Minnesota nice. It's Minnesota nice.
I'll make a special batch just for you.
Yeah, I bet you will.
Minnesota nice means his score is the one we'll remember, and we'll all tease when it doesn't happen. So
yeah.
Right.
All right.
Beast, your final prediction here.
This is a common score back in the Culpepper days. A 31-27 Vikings victory.
Wow. All right. Miss Rhino.
I think it's going to be 23-20 with the Vikings victory.
Okay. So you're going more the running angle. Gotcha. Robbie.
I'm going with the lower score also, but I'm not going with the same victory as everybody else.
Okay.
I'm thinking 24-21, and I'm going to say to go Pack Go.
Oh, that's so cute. Yeah.
All right. So 21 to what? Go Pack Go. Is that a score? Or is that the rest?
That was 24-21.
24-21. With the Go Pack Go. Okay. Making sure I heard it. All right. Yeah. All right. Myself, I'm actually going to predict a middle of the range score. I think I'm going to go 27-21 Vikes, because I think there's going to be more field goals than we're allowing for in there. But hey, you know what? That brings us to another end here. Thank you to our guests, Robbie and Miss Rhino. It's great having you guys on. Thank you to you, of course, Jason,
the Beast,
Barham, and I'm your host, the Lockstar Al Hirung. We'll see you next week, and God help us, we better win.
Keep 'em up.
Yes, keep those horns up.